I'm deeply uncomfortable with ideas of a constitutionally entrenched voice for one section of Australia. I think that some of the proposals on the table would lead to a third chamber of parliament, if not a legal third chamber, the required consent of that body for the passage of bills, but more of an informal veto power where a third chamber would shame both sides of politics into doing things or not doing things. And so I'm deeply uncomfortable by any suggestion that would see and try to divide Australians by race.
Write race back into the Constitution. The quiet Australians that Morrison speaks of know that Australians are a fair-minded people. We treat each other equally. We are not a country that bestows certain political rights on some Australians and not others. And common sense Australians would accept the premise that race has no place in the Australian Constitution.
The proposal is to have a referendum which would ask Australians to divide themselves by race. It is an illiberal policy. It's an undemocratic policy. And it also goes against the egalitarian spirit of this country, that all Australians should be treated the same regardless of their skin colour. There should not be a body inserted into our parliament via the Constitution based on the racial background of certain Australians.
Well, I would argue that the 1967 referendum, which won an overwhelming majority of voters, was to remove a reference to race in the Constitution. And I would argue that if there's going to be any further referendums on such issues, it should be to actually remove the two existing references to race in the Constitution. I believe that the Constitution should be as free of references to race as possible. It is a document that's there for all Australians.
The chief concern that the IPA has with the voice proposal is the idea that we're dividing Australians based on their race or skin colour and then conferring different rights or responsibilities based on those surface level characteristics. So the voice proposal in particular is in my view, a complete upending of our democratic and representative institutions.